Hey guys, it's Emma. First of all, a big ol' shout out. Shout out to Eugene Wood, one of my Twitches who asked for a shout out. And if you want a shout out, just ask me, because I'll do it. Today we're going to talk about the perfect Tourette's scenarios, because we can. I know, a lot of you that have Tourette's, there's a lot of things that, we like to say that we can do anything. There's a lot of things that it's I can't do this. I just can't. But if things were overall different, there could be the things that we feel like we can't do, we could do a lot more easily and actually, do them for longer than, a second. First of all, pedicures and manicures, which, you know what? I'm not, a huge fan of them. They're, super freaking expensive, but sometimes, I need it done, for special occasions and stuff, because I don't want to look like a gnarly gnarlster. And, when you go, a lot of times, people, a lot of manicurists and pedicurists don't, speak fully speak English, and even when they do, have a good grasp on the language, explaining to them what Tourette syndrome is can be kind of excessive. But it's a little bit necessary when, you're oh yeah, let me twitch my hand away from you and let me do all these things, let me kick you with my foot. I mean, I haven't done that, but when you're doing your toes like this, and they're all oh my god, stop, and it's I literally explained to you that I have tics 10 minutes ago, but I understand that you don't understand, but I can't stop, I'm sorry. So in the perfect scenario, every single person who did pedicures and manicures, if they don't even have to understand what Tourette's is, they would just not care, if you moved your feet and fingers in such ways, which I understand, in their job, that's kind of hazardous, you don't want the nails to do the thing, to do the color on the thing in the other places, but, I give, warning when I'm about to, tick, whatever little warning I can, but in a perfect scenario, they wouldn't get upset whenever I have to move as a living thing, a human having to move. Imagine that. Second of all, roller coasters. Okay, folks, so I have this tick where I stretch my legs out, gotta get that out there, but some roller coasters, I freaking love roller coasters, but some roller coasters is just hey, we're gonna make it so that, this thing closes down on you and you can't, even do any of your butt muscle ticks where you have to kind of hump the air in a way. And then it's oh yeah, we're gonna put the wall right here to keep you all compact, but wait, what is that? I can't straighten my legs, and the next 60 seconds are gonna be complete hell for me. In the perfect world, in the perfect scenario, every single roller coaster would have leg room, and even if this did break down, it'd have a little bit of leeway, when I have my things over me that hold me in. Of course I don't want to fall and die, but I also don't want to, go insane. That would be preferable to not go insane. Ice skating and rollerblading, honey. I don't do this a lot, but I've realized maybe I would more if I didn't have to point my freaking toes and just see that a hair fell from my foot. That would be so much easier to rollerblade, because you're supposed to stay flat-footed. If you point your toes, you'll fall forward, man. I mean, In a perfect scenario, we would have rollerblades that would extend the heel whenever you point, and just in general, we'd have robo rollerblades so that they would, balance you out whenever you tick. Robo. Patenting that, thank you very much. Oh my gosh, holding hands with people, or touching people in any way, any sort of cuddling, any sort of human interaction that includes physical touch, which is one of my favorite human interactions things. What is that love languages thing? My number one is, I think my number one is physical touch is my number one love language, and that's even platonically, if I just want to cuddle with a friend, if I just want to hug someone, it's so hard. I can't really hug people full on a lot of the time, because this is more of an OCD thing and not a tick. But whenever someone touches me in my chest or on my head or anything, I have to blow on what they touched me with. I have to like I gotta do that. And it just makes things hard, like when I want to hug people, like a lot of the time, like if I do it full on, like it'll get really uncomfortable for me, or I'll have to like do it with like one arm and cover the place that I don't want them to touch, or else I'd have to like blow on them. In general, like holding hands for me has always been really hard. Like it'll make me immediately, like my Tourette hates me, it makes me want to do this, like hello. And cuddling, it's like, oh, why are you moving so much? Let me like, you know, get off of you. And then I'll always be, oh, I know, like I have Tourette's, like if I twitch, it's not you, like just like, sorry. Like I've had one person tell me like, oh, it's so cute when you twitch. And I was like, oh, that's nice. What is the perfect scenario? Someone who freaking loves to have someone twitch in their arms. Husband right there. Someone who doesn't care if you're constantly moving while they're trying to sleep next to you. Or someone who doesn't care if while you're holding hands, you stop holding hands every 10 seconds. Because they just love you that much. Dreams. Goals. Tourette's goals are so different than normal goals. We shoot for our stars. Lastly, biking. Biking and driving. So I don't have my driver's license because every time that I have tried to drive, it's like really scary because like I'm like and like looking off of the road, and like that's not what you're supposed to do while you drive. Also biking, like I stopped biking at a certain age when my Tourette's like really went through like a patch, like yeah. I always felt like motorbikes were a lot easier for me because, you know, you can, you know, pull the accelerator, it goes fast, you can let go of the accelerator and do like your ticks if you have balance, like perfect me. And it'll go for a little bit, like, you know, it'll keep going straight when you're like clapping or whatnot. But on bikes, it's a lot harder to go with no hands as long as you can on motorbikes. And that's not fun when you're falling all the time off of a bike. So I just kind of stopped at a certain age, and I haven't owned a bike in years. So in a perfect scenario, it would be socially acceptable for me to have training wheels until I die. But anyway, so that's that for that. Leave me some comments of like some things that you wish would be a lot easier with Tourette's, like perfect scenarios for even not just Tourette's, like anxiety or depression or like whatever else, or other neurological disorders like you know, like freaking Parkinson's or epilepsy. Like just like tell me what things would be easier for you too, and let's start a conversation. Chat it, hashtag end the stigma, babies. Alright, and like, comment, subscribe. Thanks, switches, bye!